What's up, guys, and welcome to my review for Napoleon. This is a film that came out in theaters around Thanksgiving, and it's finally hit VOD, and I bought it digitally on Vudu. So, this movie is directed by Ridley Scott and stars Joaquin Phoenix as Napoleon Bonaparte. And this is the story of his rise to become emperor and the eventual fallout of that. This movie has gotten kind of panned. A lot of negative reviews for this, and I was looking forward to it. Look, after seeing it, I won't say that I loved it, but I'll certainly say that I don't think this is as bad as a lot of people had mentioned. Um, I think that one of the biggest negatives about the movie is the length. It doesn't feel boring. Like I was watching it the whole time, I never felt bored. I was always interested. I was always engaged, but I did feel the length. Like I did go like, wow, I'm into it, but this feels kind of exhausting. Like this is a long movie. Now, when you watch something like Killers of the Flower Moon or Oppenheimer, which are longer films, I didn't feel that because I just think that they were better paced. The pacing of this, I don't think, is great, even though I didn't find it boring. So if that makes sense, great. If it doesn't, that's the best way I could explain to you how I felt about the length of the movie. Where I've heard that there's a 4-hour cut, which is like an hour and a half longer. That's going to be coming to Prime Video whenever this is or Apple TV. I believe it's going to come on whatever the service is, uh, which I will watch because I was invested the whole time. Most of it in the first half of the film is the big events and things that would happen that would lead to his journey to becoming emperor. And then all the stuff with his relationship with Vanessa Kirby, who I think is also great in this movie. A lot of people said she should be up for an Oscar for this, or her name should be thrown in consideration. There's a lot of competition. Would I throw her in there? Possibly. I think she was very good in the role. So all the stuff with their relationship, I thought was really interesting. I thought it was kind of quirky. I thought it was funny in a sense, the sense of power that they have over each other. I just really like the dynamic between the two of them. And also, look, Joaquin Phoenix, I thought was great in this role. Now, a lot of people might have had an issue that he doesn't have the accent he should. He's giving an American accent when you would think that he would be speaking a different way. That didn't necessarily bother me, but I can see why it would bother other people. For me, I liked the performance, thought he was good, and he's this is a guy that is extremely determined. He's kind of like a big baby at times, but I don't know. There's just something about him where I go, you know what? I get this guy's determination. So I kind of got behind him. He was someone that you could get behind, not like Leonardo DiCaprio's character in Killers of the Flower Moon, where he's playing the biggest bitch of the year. And some people are like, "Oh, I'm upset he didn't get nominated for Best Actor at the SAG Awards." Look, he's giving a good performance, but he's hard to like. He's hard to get behind. And I'm sure there's been performances like that he's hard to get behind, or like you love to hate him, or things like that. I just don't really like the character in that movie. But yeah, I was able to get behind Napoleon in this, and I think this is really well directed. Like Ridley Scott does a really good job directing this, and the action scenes are the best parts of the movie. I loved every single war scene, fight scene in this film. They were all done really well. Uh, I think that the movie is edited well. I think the cinematography is very good. It could get nominations at the Oscars in a lot of below the line categories, but I can't see it making it in above the line because I just don't feel like this is a great film. But I do feel like it's a good film. I think that the other issue is like in the last half of the film. Um, it starts to it starts to get very grating. Like with the length, and I guess it all has to do with the length, but I don't know. Like, I would like to see more. I would like to see more. It feels like there's bits missing. Like towards the end of the film, you go like, well, how did he survive that? I'd like to see how that ended. But then you just kind of cut to later on or whenever. Um, yeah, I don't know. Like I was appreciative of what I got, but I would like to see more. And I think the ending overall was, it's a little underwhelming. Like it feels kind of abrupt, I guess. But that's because the pacing is a little whack. um, but I liked the movie more than I thought I was going to, with all the thoughts and reviews that came out of it. So Napoleon is, like I said, not a great film, but I do think it's a good film. I didn't love it, but I liked it, and I'm going to give it 3.5 out of 5 stars. So, guys, comment down below. Did you see this movie? What did you think about it? Give me your honest thoughts down below. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We got a bunch of reviews coming in the future. Things coming to streaming. You might be wondering, if you're new to the channel, well, why are you just waiting for all these streaming movies? Why don't you just go to the theater? Gosh darn it! I have a 9-month-old baby, so it's kind of hard for me to get out either I'm at work or my wife is at work. So it's either, that. And when we're not at work, we don't really want to find a babysitter to watch him. We want to be together as a family. And why don't we take him? Well, he's very talkative now. So it's not like we can go and there could be people in there and it's just not going to be a great experience. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at. So eventually, occasionally, we will go to the theater. But as of right now, it's more digital stuff and VOD stuff and physical media stuff. Look, movies like Thanksgiving and Silent Night and The Hunger Games, which are all available on VOD right now. I'm waiting for the 4K and Blu-ray releases of those because I am still a fan of physical media and I still support it. And I will pick those up when they come out. We'll watch those, and then I'll be doing reviews for those. So, yeah, so that's where we're at with that. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter or X at RyanKing72 and Instagram and TikTok at KingOfRises131. And that's been it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching my review for Napoleon. And until next time, over and out.